Yeah, baby. Yeah, kid. Finally, finally. Ultra professional. Oh, it's a massive energy shift. Oh, baby. Yeah. I don't know when the live stream actually starts. Sometimes it's off by a few seconds. Some of you saw that. Oh, and if you have no clue, you got to watch the previous two videos. You know, sometimes we take things for granted. And these things that are taken for granted, they kind of go away for a bit of time. And it brings an attitude of gratitude. Oh, it's time for blast off. Yeah, it's time for blast off. When you're so grateful, you know, you might have been suppressed. You might have taken, you know, things that were taken for granted were so difficult, like starting a world famous YouTube live stream. It's like the most difficult thing that could ever happen, and, and you take it for granted. And you know, the third time would have really caused the trauma. But you know, sometimes we go through these phases, and that energy that we could be in for a sustained period of time, it's actually teaching us a lesson. And God teaches us a lesson not to punish us, but to bring out the best in us. God is bringing out the best in us. You might be getting this message today, and you could reflect on your everyday life, and you could say to yourself, you know what? The past year it might have been like something you've never experienced before. Heck, since 2020, a lot of people in the world, God's people, they might have dealt with a lot of tribulation, if you will. And now all of a sudden, God is releasing a massive energy shift in our favor. Actually, all along, it has been in our favor. Sometimes when we think about when you start to think about experiences in your life, in the future, you could turn around and look at it, and maybe what was maybe not the nicest thing at first glance was the greatest thing in your life, maybe. I did a full video on a quantum event. Create a quantum event. At first glance, when the event happens or the time period happens, you know, you could say to yourself, oh, what do I have to go through this for? But then in the future, it's going to prove the importance of the past, or why you had to go through all of these situations. So we're going to talk about the pullback, the quiet tsunami, the hermetic principle of rhythm. We need warriors and a long-term vision. A lot to go over in this world-famous video. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you being here. Could you kindly smash that like button? I appreciate that very much. It will help others find. We're very professional. If you saw the beginning, we're very professional here. It'll help others find this message. We got to become empowered. We're taking the ascension journey and we're making it relevant to everyday life people. So there are more and more people that are waking up, more and more people that are returning to God, more and more people that are living their everyday life, and they don't have to be so prestigious. You're gonna meet people on your journey, and they just might be the guy in the store, the guy in the gym, right? These are the people that are actually here anchoring in the new earth, actually anchoring in the kingdom of God. God is releasing a massive energy shift in our favor. You might be feeling it right now. In the previous week, you might have felt a lot of densities in your everyday life. A lot of traumas coming up to the surface. And God does this, right? And I did a full video on you being that arrow. And God pulls back. You're getting, we're going backwards. We're going backwards. But that's God pulling back on that arrow to launch you. We are being launched right now. God pulls back and releases you like an arrow. This happens always, 100% of the time. 100% of the time. It's literally, I did a video, the signs that you're leveling up. You should go to the channel page, check that out. It reads like a textbook, okay? But the point we want to share today, there is always a pullback. It always gets real. Shh, be quiet. Listen. It's going to get real quiet. Things are going to get real still. And you're being launched with laser pinpoint accuracy. And you're going to hit the target, and we're all going to do it right now. Have you witnessed this? You could hit the starburst in the chat or let us know in the comments. All right? Are you witnessing, hey, you know what? Maybe the past week I had a lot of traumas coming up. Maybe you had a little pullback in your work, and all of a sudden it's going to come in like a flood. And that's the tsunami pullback. The tsunami, it pulls back. All of a sudden the water's gone. Where did it come? All of a sudden there's going to be a rush. Where'd all the people go? It got really quiet. All of a sudden, there's going to be a rush. So these are the things that you have to really stay focused on. When God does work, and it's going to be in a way that you're like, wow, I can't believe it. You're going to sit there, right? So God is going to send people. God is going to send assistance to your life. And it's going to be from the divine. And you're going to say, I can't even believe that this is happening. How is this literally happening? Even on my journey, I just used the example. I've been sharing with the ascension symptoms of the spine, right? A lot of adjustments. If you're new to the ascension journey, one of our world famous videos is Ascension Symptoms Explained as Heinrich Metamorphosis. You might feel like your insides are twisting and turning right now, but you are becoming a beautiful butterfly. So, on my journey, I've really been, spending time, maybe not even really being able to walk straight. I said not even being able to walk. And God sent me the divine assistance, and now we're moving in the right direction. I'm very grateful. And we have that attitude of gratitude. Sometimes we take walking for granted. Sometimes we take our health for granted. Sometimes we take our wellness for granted. Sometimes we take our freedom and sovereignty for granted. And then it might be taken away for just a period of time. And the gratitude that you have. I was also having this conversation with a friend of mine in the gym. And, he was recently a little sick under the weather, couldn't come to the gym for almost a week. And, he said, wow, you take things for granted. And I'm sure you're getting this message right now. You have to realize that health is your wealth. You have to realize that, your freedom and sovereignty, the ability to live your everyday life, so important. And we take these things for granted. Sometimes we take our health for granted. You know, and just being able to go to the gym, right? Being able to, you know, communicate with friends at the gym, being able to be functional and not on the floor in tons of pain. And if you're experiencing these symptoms, you know, we talked about the symptoms maybe in the solar plexus, symptoms in the spine, the base of the spine, that whole region of the body. And so people, you might be new to this ascension journey, right? And that's why Uncle Mike discusses this and makes it relevant to everyday life people. Think of the world. Think of what you went through in the past couple of years. Has it been easy? No. You have been bombarded wave after wave after wave of trauma. Wave after, you're bracing yourself. You're bracing for the next one. You could raise your hand in the chat if I'm expressing, and now you're going to understand why you felt this way. And now God is sending us assistance. God is sending assistance to his people. God is sending a massive energy shift to his people. You're sitting there. You're bracing for the next thing. You're subconsciously bracing. That's why your back feels that way. That's why your stomach, your solar plexus is riddled with anxiety. Because what is anxiety? Anxiety is fear of the future. So for a sustained period of time, people have been bracing for impact. People have been in a state of I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's why God is sending this assistance right now, a massive energy shift, and we're feeling it right now. We're literally feeling it. You're starting to feel more positive. And that's why we collaborate as a community. More and more people might be feeling this. What God needs are warriors, not cream puffs. You might say, why is this so? You have to be. You know, and I was recently, you know, discussing this with other people. When people are under or been given fear for a sustained period of time, and it doesn't have to be years. It could just be like a month. All of a sudden, they can't process the information. You know, the blood flows of our body, the rhythms of our body, the blood goes to a different portion of the brain. And you're thinking in fight or flight. You're not rational anymore. And you could share it in the comments. Are you witnessing? And I'm here to speak the truth. There is so much balance that needs to be restored. And there is a very specific way. See, Uncle Mike navigates this time period with laser pinpoint accuracy. I'm here to tell you, you cannot blame some of your brothers and sisters. Because there's people that are in a total fear. Please hit the like button if I'm speaking the truth. Also at the same time, and now you're going to understand all these seasons that you went through over the past few years. Also at the same time, right, you cannot, you might be the warrior. You might be the one that is the representative of your family lineage that's known as the chosen one. Very powerful video will be in the upper left-hand corner of this video at the end. You cannot walk on eggshells. You're here with a divine purpose. Not everyone has the strength to do this. This is the balance that we have to have. We have to be sympathetic to our brothers and sisters that are riddled with fear, and they might be attacking you, and they don't actually mean it. It's really not their fault. That's the truth. However, at the same time, you also can't. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to give people your absence. Full video on the channel page. So important at this time. You're going to have to give people your absence. You're going to have to pull your energy back. You're going to have to stay connected to God. What differentiates me, what differentiates you, if you're still tuned in onto this message, is that you go directly to the source. That's why I'm the best there is, because I go straight to God, because I go straight to the source. There is no middleman, and that's the power that we need. We need warriors right now. That's the balance. I'm trying to show people balance. I get it. There's people, they're acting out. I get it. But you have to be sympathetic to them. You have to understand, you know what, maybe they're not as strong as you. Maybe the mind, this, how much fear? Look at all the fear out there. Again, what is anxiety? It's fear of the future. We've all went through it. And sometimes God puts you in the isolation just so you can catch your breath. Are you familiar with the isolation season? You might have went through isolation in the past year, a time period. Might have been 3 months. Might have been 6 months. You were in total isolation. There was a reason. You got to catch your breath. You guys, all right. You catch your breath now. You catch your breath. Or you sit over here. You sit with me. That's what God did to me. He said, you sit with me. You sit with me. I sat with God. I was obedient to God. That's why my work is growing like never before. That's why our community is growing like never before. You sit with me. That's what, no, but sometimes we need to catch our breath. Think of a boxing match, right? Where do they go 3-minute round? They get like a minute or so to catch their breath and they go back in there. So you might have had to catch your breath. God came in, was like Mickey, right? Putting the ice on your eye, right? Fixing you up, making you feel better. Go back out there now. Sometimes you're called to be in isolation. Sometimes we're called to be in the isolation. That's okay. Sometimes we're called to be refined with the Holy Spirit fire. It's blazing, light warriors. It's blazing. Yeah, you can hit the Holy Spirit fire in the chat if it's blazing. Smash that like button. I appreciate all the people joining us today. As you could clearly see, God has released an energy shift. It's happening right now. I am just like all of you. I don't come here. I complain. I complain like all my brothers and sisters. We all do the same. I say, why is it going backwards? Why? What's going on? We have to move forward. We have to move. And again, we always go through this. It might last 5 days. It might last a week. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it goes. There it goes. So it's really important, and it's really important for all of us to move and focus our attention as a unit, collectively, togetherness. It makes it so much more powerful when we move together. You know, even Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about this. He talks about the fake concepts, right? And it's not about survival of the fittest and competition. It's actually about cooperation. And when you cooperate and you come together, that's where the power lies. So we see it all the time. So that's why God might remove people from your life. Has God removed people from your life in the past 4 years, in the past year? It's a very pivotal moment in the history of humanity. You can't do this work being somebody's fancy feast. You can't, remember fancy feast? You can't do this work being a corporation's fancy feast. Maybe you go to work, you're getting stressed all day long. That's why you went through all these things. There's so many people on this chat right now that went through these things. We've even shared this. We have a Patreon community. We get together on Zoom. We talk about these things. You're going through shifts. I'm so proud of you, right? Keep going. No, we go through these things because you're destined for so much more. You couldn't be in that workplace. You couldn't listen to that woman screaming at you. You remember that kid, right? See, I talk to my community, right? You had to leave that because you were better than her. And now you're the divine feminine. Now you're raising up. Now you're going to have your corporation. We take this ascension journey and we make it relevant to everyday life people. It doesn't mean you live off on the land, become a vegan, and that's it. That's not what it's about. Hit the like button if I'm speaking the truth. That's what we do here on this channel. We speak the truth. And everything that you're doing is being documented in the Akashic records. We did a tremendous video on this topic a couple of days ago, right? But we glitched the matrix. But why don't you check it out? It's tremendous. Yeah. You check that out. No, so you might be doing something right now. You're doing it for God. God is documenting it right now. It's being documented right now. Everything that you do. It's being stored up. Are there any wrestling fans in the chat today? Wrestling fans in the chat? You're doing the kingdom work. You're doing the work of God. And this, well, then your son will like this one. And then, okay, we got the wrestling fans in the house. So all this work, ready? I'll teach you for the wrestling fans, right? So all this work that you're doing for God, right? You're doing this work. Okay, we got the wrestling fans coming in the chat right now. You are storing it up. You got the briefcase. You are cashing it in like money in the bank this month. Hit the like button if this money in the bank cashing. He's cashing it in. It's coming in right now. He's cashing in the briefcase. You are cashing it in like a money in the bank contract. Right, Buckshot? You're cashing it in. This is the time period. You can feel the vibes right now. You're cashing it in like a money in the bank contract. If you have no clue, use the Google, okay? Uncle Mike likes to teach the everyday life things, okay? You're cashing it in. You cash it in, baby. Yeah, you got to cash it in. Now's your time to shine. You have the energy it didn't go anywhere. Sometimes we say, oh man, why is it still going on? Why is it still going on? It's time. Oh yeah. The house of cards of the Matrix is crumbling. Beautiful comments. If you're new to the channel, why don't you consider smashing that subscribe button? I appreciate that. It really helps the channel. And then 9 a.m., you're going to get a notification on your phone. You could be part of this tremendous live chat right now. This is where we are. The main idea. So you take everything that I've given you so far in this lesson. You had a long-term vision. You didn't come here for instant gratification. You came here for a long-term vision. That is why this played out the way that it did. You had a long-term vision. Eagle eyes, son. Eagle eyes, kid. Eagle eyes. You see, you weren't just... I know so many people. They're so fake. They're so phony. Do you know these people? They want instant gratification. Give it to me now. Do you know these people? Right? Give it to me now. No, you had long-term vision. And that's why you're soaring. Now you're soaring like the eagle right now. And I hope this message is really helpful because it's really not it's not an easy time period for any of us. We're all dealing with traumas because it just was the way of the world. And we were given unique situations so that we can bring our unique gifts to the table. We're all sitting at the table. The head of the table, my commander. We're sitting at the table right now. Oh, yeah. And now not a fancy, a banquet. It's a banquet event. A banquet is there. And we're going to be fed. Maybe in the presence of our enemies. Because in the new earth, when we think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, everybody's watching. Yeah, everybody's watching. You could write it in the comments. Everybody's watching. And God is watching. And the Akashic Records, they're documenting and watching. Everybody's watching. This is the time period that you've been waiting for. Rally the troops. Wrong pipe. See? Can't get too excited and drink water on a live stream. We keep it at 100 on this channel. You know, a wise man once said, you know, a lot of people don't have the courage to put their life up on a billboard, but you're going to have to do that. It's the way of the new earth. And put your life. What are you hiding for? You can't hide from the Akashic Records. You can't hide from God. Just put it up there. Everything I touch, I leave better than the way that I found it. That's the way we live our lives. We live our everyday lives. It's the name of the channel. It's got a tremendous ring to it too, right? Listen, I stay focused. I've stayed focused. That's why it's so important to hatch it out with God. Hatch it out with God. You say to yourself, okay, this is what I want to do. You explain, because you are a co-creator with God. I'll share this till the cows come home. Do the cows actually come home? Do the cows come home? You co-create with God. It is not possible without God. It's not possible. Everything God has sent my way, it's unbelievable. Every single thing that was sent my way, and even the negative things that were allowed to happen, they were lessons. Oh yeah, so I could be the most high commander. Leaders lead. So the trials, you might go through trial by fire. The trials and tribulations are going to refine you to be the best that you can for all of society at this time. Society is riddled with traumas. Society is riddled with things that need to be cleared and removed. And if you're new to the channel, just go to the channel page and check out that first playlist. Everything is it's gonna all be connected. There's always new people to the channel. It's such a beautiful thing. In this way, you could catch up. Those that are on the channel daily know how the lessons intertwine. We're intertwining. So the long-term vision that you had is coming to the surface right now. So be grateful and have a knowing that a massive energy shift is in our favor. Everything was in our favor, but we are navigating this world in the 3D lens, right? Our ego is there. The spirit leads the way. The ego kind of protects us. There is a purpose for it. And you say, oh, why are these things? You get all bent out of shape. But the more that you've let go, eventually, there's an old school phrase. Eventually, something's got to give. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And now is that time. There's so much pressure. It's bubbling to the surface. And now it's about to explode. I'm going to explode. That's how you feel, right? And now you're ready to go. Now you could move with momentum. That's why God was pulling you back. Pulling you back on the arrow. You got to lead with the heart. God is pulling you back like the arrow. You lead with the heart. There you go. Full speed ahead. Now it's full speed ahead. We're exploding. We're exploding onto the scene right now. Absolutely. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Very important, in the comments, let us know, are you experiencing a massive energy shift? And it might be in your favor. And maybe you felt a little stagnant. Maybe you had a lot of traumas come to the surface. Maybe God is sending people, things, and situations into your everyday life it's wow, it's like it's overwhelming. Like this is like the most perfect synchronistic thing in the history of synchronistic things, right? And if you stumbled across this message, I'm so grateful that you did. I'm Michael, and I discuss the ascension journey, and I make it relevant to everyday life people, because this is the way of the world. So it's really, it's an important movement. It's an important mission. The greatest support of all, if you are here right now, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the best version of yourself. Hey people, let's improve our lives physically, mentally, and spiritually. Let's improve at least 1% per day. Let's focus on going in the same general direction, because we're all different, but we're moving in the same general direction. What's that, Uncle Mike? We're increasing our vibrational frequency at least 1% per day. We're learning every single day. Make a standard. When I years ago when I started this, I hold this to myself. I hold myself accountable. I gotta learn. You utilize this, right? I'm dropping you golden nuggets right now. I set a standard. I got to learn at least one new thing every single day. When people are watching nonsense, reality shows that are actually fake, they're watching CNN, they're watching all these things. I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching documentaries. I'm focused every single day. I'm learning. So not only am I creating, not only am I producing, I am a student of the game. Actually, I love you all. I really do. I appreciate you. Why don't you share the shit out of this video if it resonates to you, if it's increasing your vibrational frequency, if you're feeling better than you ever did before. I'm so grateful. It's an attitude of gratitude. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. I love you all. Serge, I love you, Serge. The love doctor's in the house. He made it. I appreciate you, Serge. Yeah. No, you're feeling it too, right? We're all feeling it. Please comment down below. Are you feeling a massive positive energy surge right now? Sergio. It's a surge, right? There's a synchronicity right there. I love you, brother. All right, everyone. Take care. Keep going, kid.